A military funeral is a memorial or burial rite given by a country's military for a soldier, sailor, marine or airman who died in battle, a veteran, or other prominent military figures or heads of state. A military funeral may feature guards of honor, the firing of volley shots as a salute, drumming and other military elements, with a flag draping over the coffin. Canada. Canadian military funerals involve many rituals seen in other parts of the world. The Royal Canadian Horse Artillery use a 25-pounder gun and limber as the funeral vehicle. Muffled drums accompany the graveside processional. The deceased's headdress, insignia and medals are borne on a velvet cushion into the funeral service. Volleys are fired over the grave when the body is interred. Countries in the Commonwealth duplicate the British military drill and ceremony. The Canadian funeral described above typifies the funerary service. The bugle tune "Last Post" is played as the body is interred. Chile. In Chilean military funerals, due to its Prussian military tradition, the German song "Hat einen Kameraden" is sung in its Spanish version. The casket may or may not be horse-drawn on a caisson. A bugler sounds the final honors during interment. Germany. In Germany, Ludwig Uhland's song "Ich hat einen Kameraden" is an integral part of a military funeral. Indonesia. In Indonesia, military funerals are generally given only military members of former guerrillas, Konfrontasi and Trikora operation soldiers, especially those holding the Bintang Geraldia. Exceptional politicians and ministers have the option for such a funeral, but most opt for a more intimate religious one. Music is not performed as it is not part of Indonesian military tradition, save only during the final honors. A 21-gun volley salute is the norm by 7 soldiers, occasionally a mixture of armed forces personnel dependent on their career. On a drill team is platoon-size formation, and the larger the platoon or half-company, the more illustrious the departed. A good example of an Indonesian military burial is that of the late President Suharto. Similar traditions also exist in the Indonesian National Police. Italy. In Italy, the members of the armed forces who died in the line of duty are granted a state funeral by decree of the Prime Minister, so the funeral follows the protocol of a state funeral, and in particular the 6 officers in high uniform who carry the coffin are members of the same armed force of the departed. Poland. In Poland, the last fragment of Władysław Tarnowski's song "Przyjdzie kolego," a portion of the larger composition "Jak to nawając ladany" is an integral part of a military funeral, played by a trumpeter. It is also played during state ceremonies. Also part of it is a 3-volley salute with the firing party consisting of an armed platoon or company. Spain. In Spain, the formed troops sing "La muerte no es el final." Death is not the end during funeral ceremonies and in all military ceremonies, when the fallen are being honored. The Spanish Legion has an exception. The regimental hymn "Novio de la Muerte" is played in full instead during occasions that the Legion attends. United Kingdom. The British Army carries reversed arms at military funerals. The last post and rouser reveille are sounded at the right moment during the rite. United States of America. In the United States, the United States Army Military District of Washington is responsible for providing military funerals. Honoring those who served is the title of the program for instituting a dignified military funeral with full honors to the nation's veterans. As of January 1, 2000, Section 578 of Public Law 106-65 of the National Defense Authorization Act mandates that the United States Armed Forces shall provide the rendering of honors in a military funeral for any eligible veteran if requested by his or her family, as mandated by federal law. An honor guard detail for the burial of an eligible veteran shall consist of no fewer than 2 members of the armed forces. 1 member of the detail shall be a representative of the parent armed service of the deceased veteran. The honor guard detail will, at a minimum, perform a ceremony that includes the folding and presenting of the flag of the United States to the next of kin and the playing of taps, which will be played by a lone bugler, if available, or by audio recording. Today, there are so few buglers available that the United States Armed Forces often cannot provide one. However, federal law allows Reserve and National Guard units to assist with funeral honors duty when necessary. On the day of the burial or interment, the U.S. flag is lowered to half-mast. After the 2006 Lebanon War, Hezbollah draped coffins containing the dead in Hezbollah flags with flowers on top. They were given a funeral according to Shiite Muslim traditions, then buried in their hometowns. Irish Republican Army members have been accorded military funerals. On occasion, deceased soldiers have been accorded military funerals by their enemies. In 2015, Lee Kuan Yew, the former Prime Minister of Singapore, was given a state funeral with full military honors. Gallery. Images and sounds. Sample of taps.